All right, it's the Rundown brought to you by Mattress Firm. Everybody needs quality sleep to feel restored and to function at their best. And to achieve this, the right mattress matters. Luckily, Mattress Firm is here to help. Their sleep experts receive over 200 hours of sleep training to help you match with the right mattress and bedding accessories for your needs. With their low price guarantee, you can be confident that you'll find the perfect mattress at the best price. And if you're not totally satisfied after 120 nights, they'll pair you with a new one. Visit a store or go to mattressfirm.com. The right mattress matters. Mattress Firm will find yours. Big day here at Barstool. What happened? We'll start with the Barstool news. We'll get it. I was gonna say I'll be over here. Staying away from the Undertaker over here.
Kelly, you look great today, by the way.
Thanks.
And I'm happy you won the election.
Yeah. No, for sure. The new Minahan.
Listen,
I don't know if I like that.
Yeah, I would not.
I know. That's not.
They're black and white. Like, there's no two ways about it. Kelly Keegs has won the war. The Mean Girls are out at Barstool. We invited them to judge the OnlyFans pageant we had yesterday, which would have been perfect for them to be in and make a good effort, and just ghosted on us.
Yeah, so I talked to Alex today about that because I caught wind of it, because I asked if they're in the office. She said she was sick, not really an excuse to not get back to you, so they're done.
They're done?
Yeah.
Fired?
No.
Or just not?
No, her contract was up, so
wow.
It was in the midst of whether we're going to renew it.
Breaking news on
I was
Barstool
not happy
Radio.
In light of everything going on around here with layoffs and the speeches I've given.
Yeah,
when I heard that story, it wasn't exactly what I wanted to hear.
Dave made the decision to not renew Alex, Alex's contract was already up. Jordan's was coming up in 2 weeks. So this is being posed as not renewing. However, on radio, we asked if they were in the middle of their contract, would they have been fired? He said yes. This was after the last straw was we did the OnlyFans pageant yesterday. They were supposed to be judges, and they didn't show up. I'll be honest.
Did we have anyone replace them?
It's actually so funny you say that, Tommy. I was asked 5 minutes before it started if I could fill in, and I said yes.
Let me tell you, when I came around the corner here, because it started when I was recording.
Yeah.
So, and I came around the corner, and I saw Kelly sitting there, and I said, Jesus Christ. I was just like, the fucking, it's
I didn't even know
fact is stranger than fiction. I know you
had
did.
no idea that
and
they
I
were
was like,
supposed to do it.
holy
I had no idea.
So the idea was to have all female judges, because we were kind of flipping the idea of men and women on their heads.
Yep.
So originally it was chicks in the office.
Yep.
And Rhea got sick.
Yep.
It was Bree and Grace, and then Bree left for whatever reason. And then the Mean Girls, I get a text saying, we're organizing the guys, we're getting the carpet ready, where are the judges? And Jake Bass texted, was like, I can't find the Mean Girls. Yep. So I text the Mean Girls. I set this up. I have been trying. I have been trying so hard with them, and I invited them on. I was like, this was going to be good content. I think they would be good at it, and it will be a good way to new leaf. Start coming to the office and ingratiate yourself. They were like, absolutely, sounds good, exclamation point, so cool, can't wait. They said, we have an interview from 12 to 2. And I said, good, because the girls are getting here at 1:30, so 2 o'clock's fine. Mm-hmm. Then I get that text, the Mean Girls aren't here, so I text them at like 2:30 day of, and I said, are you girls around? Nada, zero back. I'm feeling a little bit like I could have just not said anything about that.
Yeah.
But I talked about it because I thought it was fucked up, and then it got
you got
word
blown
got
off.
to Dave.
And also, I mean, I again, not starting shit. I feel like it's not the first time you've gotten blown off.
By them?
By that, I mean, they've blown off everybody here,
and you stick up for them all the time. I never really got why you stick up for them so much, because they have blown you off a bunch of times.
Well, because
but this feels like a last straw kind of thing.
Yes,
yeah.
I think that there was just something different about it. What happened with them was in the beginning, I was kind of defending them because they were nice to me, and I was just I think people are being too hard on them.
And I know you didn't love the blog. I know that. That's something we talked about. You didn't love it was kind of.
We have a little folks at home. We have a little tension here.
No. I don't think so. I don't think so. Now I feel alleviated now. To be honest, I do not feel like there's tension. Well, no. But with you specifically,
you cost two people their jobs. Two struggling artists.
Oh please, you tried really hard with them, and I know that you didn't You read the room better than I did on them not being able to, or not wanting to do all that bullshit that I did. And I thought that I thought I was right, you thought you were right in that situation, and I think you were right in that situation, but I also think that I was a little right about their temperament. If that makes sense, you know?
So, I mean, I always thought of it as like when Alex did Rough and Rowdy and they did Most Dangerous Game. They're doing things that like I'm sitting on my couch, I don't do those things anymore, and these people are like grinding, doing the hard shit.
Yep.
And then The Office kind of like had their feeling about it. But then there was also this element of like putting them personally aside. I don't like anybody here making content worse here, making someone else's content harder.
Yes. Right.
Like there was a.
So you were saying it was harder for them to make content based on
to be successful.
Okay.
Not to make content, but if the whole office is like fuck the Mean Girls, they're not good.
This kind of sounds similar to the Dave and Clemmer argument last week, to a degree.
Yes.
Yeah.
I actually think I think what Clemmer did,
which is not something that I
think having the office be like the Mean Girls aren't funny and their content's not good is way more detrimental than
bad. Yeah.
I actually think the Clemmer thing is not that bad.
I thought
it is bad to like joke about layoffs, but that's not what was happening.
Well, I was, I got a little bit of runoff from that Clemmer thing. I understand. I just thought that was like a dick thing to say. I didn't think much of it past that. I never thought, even when we did the blog, I never thought it was like where I'm putting down another piece. I guess I didn't think that there was that much power in what was said to like put down and make a brand worse or make the job worse for them. Like all they did all day long was talk about how they don't care about the haters. They don't care that everybody hates them. Everybody's talking shit to their face all the time. And I thought that they were in on it. I was tweeting that I was doing it, and Jordan said, "I can't wait to read it." Like there's so many things.
I think it's different when people here are.
But even
like,
here, even here though, I feel like
there were definitely quote tweets of them happening before your blog.
Listen, we've talked about this on radio.
No, right. We don't need to talk about it again.
No, I'm just saying.
There's a little bit of
here. If you're trying to say that it was just busting balls or we do this with everybody, that's just not true. It's different. This is a whole storyline and shit.
It took off, yes, but I also think
it became something different.
I also think the response from them was completely different than I ever anticipated. I thought, and I said this, I even messaged like Kim about this once, because Alex's mom, because I was upset to have offended her so badly that she like unfollowed me on Instagram. I thought that they were going to tell me like "fuck you" and we were going to go back and forth. It was going to be this whole rivalry thing.
Kim doesn't still work here.
No, she doesn't.
It'd be funny if she survived.
It's like mother.
But that's why when that happened, I was like, oh no,
Alex and Jordan
out. They do not like this. And then it was like I'm posting pictures of myself crying on somebody's shoulder. I'm doing that, and so I'm like, all right, they're playing their role now as like the sad people that got bullied at work. When in reality, I do think that we all kind of talk to each other like that. We all joke like that. They were ready for it. They said, I can't wait to see the blog. Oh my God, this is crazy, blah, blah, blah. And then when it came out, it just wasn't enough. Alex pretended like she didn't read that blog for weeks. She's like, it was too many, I couldn't even read it. I'm like, if you read it, you would see what I said then. And that's what's important to me. Like, don't let Jordan dictate what you're seeing, because Jordan saw it, didn't like it, and I understand that. And I think I said to you on KBC Radio once that I wasn't sure if, I knew that Alex would be okay. I didn't know if Jordan would be, but this was a test to see whatever it was. We sat behind each other. She seemed engaged on Twitter before I even put the blog out. It all seemed fine. And then it backfired. It went on for like 2 days. I then said, all right, enough. I'm not talking about this anymore, because clearly they don't like it. They're not here to play. I'm not going to like pile on to this. And now how many months later, 6 months later, we're still going on about how, I didn't make fun of Bree and Grace. Yes, I did. I didn't do this. I didn't do that. It's different for them. They get all this hate. They do this. They do that. Everybody gets fucking hate. Everybody has been through the ringer about something in their personal life. Yeah. Everybody gets this bullshit. And I understand that if maybe you don't want to deal with it, that's fine. But there was. Then be out of it.
Can I ask a question, which I'm sure you've answered?
Yeah.
You didn't really think it made all women at Barstool look bad, though, did you?
I said that I thought I didn't like how we were raising up people that were putting out dumb clips on purpose, and then that was setting the standard for like, okay, the only way to get your clips up and to get clicks and whatever was to put out dumb shit, when there are plenty of other girls here who were saying smart things and weren't getting enough like traction online. I felt that way. I don't know.
Because the counter to that is like Call Her Daddy wasn't like the intellectual.
No.
Like,
I know that. No, Dave, you're right about that. But I actually don't. I don't think that Mean Girls and Call Her Daddy are alike at all, and I know that you have made that comparison. I think that Alex, what she was doing, while it wasn't like the smartest thing in the world, it was innovative, it was different. There were very few women talking about sex in such an open and honest way, and kind of like a gross way. Like, girls talk about sex like that, and she was one of the only people that really like put her whole life out there and talked about it in a way that we all were kind of like, all right, yeah, let's get in it. Like, let's talk like this. That's fine. Like, women can talk like that too. Women can act like that too. And now she has $60 million, and now her whole vibe has changed. She does interviews. She does still talk about sex stuff, but she has turned it into a bigger platform for female voices, and I think that's awesome. I don't think that clips about whether or not you believe in dinosaurs and wash your hands are going to eventually turn into, Barbara fucking Walters.
Right. I mean, but right. But my point would be like that was not exactly like
They're the only people.
Intellectual and then you have a lot of guys. I mean,
we say a lot of dumb shit too.
Smitty,
Well, no, the
dumbest
guys
guy
are-
who's
right,
ever
no, for sure,
literally
for sure.
lived
And dumb
has
shit.
said so many dumb things.
We need
Dumb
a Smitty
shit. I
camera for
here's
Dave
the.
appearances.
I guess what I.
Well,
I think
the dumbest guy in the world.
what my thought was at the time is like there's already so much dumb shit. Why do we have to now make the only, like, the women who are getting they were getting the most attention, the most accolades during our meetings, the highest
ask you about
views,
this.
all this
But
stuff.
that's like a chicken and the egg. Like, and Bald Paul will tell you that. Like,
Yeah.
the clips were performing, and you can tell
Right.
when they're. So
But
you
that's
see
what sucks.
something
Like,
that
that's
starts.
what sucks. Why were those clips performing? Like, is it because we didn't give anybody else? No, I know, but is it because we didn't give them a chance to consume something else, and we're only feeding this bullshit, and we're only seeing.
Yeah, I don't think. I
know what
think
I'm
Paul
saying?
would
I don't
say
know.
like we see the clips starting to perform, and then it's like we pour gas on it, and he
Right.
doesn't care what it is.
So I think a big part of what happened with them too is there was every email from Paul or whoever was like, Mean Girls, Mean Girls, Mean Girls, be like the Mean Girls, be more like the
Like,
Mean Girls.
shut-
And I think
like-
eventually
like,
people here
frog
were
raw
like,
down my throat,
It was
like,
like
oh.
their teacher's pet. And it's not really their fault, but it was
No.
like, and I also think Paul was the one who brought him on, right? So Paul probably had a vested interest in them.
Which for how long?
Paul
For a
didn't bring
year, we
Alex
said.
down.
Oh, okay.
think.
Well, I think.
No, he put them
through
together.
no-
I
not
thought
through,
when
like,
after that argument, after the Danielle Bernstein.
Together on
No,
Well,
no,
I
no.
was talking to Alex. It all started when she went after the We Wore What girl.
Yeah, the Danielle Bernstein.
Yeah, and then
thing.
I got in a fight with him, and it's like I was like, if you're going to be the Mean Girls,
Yeah.
own being Mean Girls. Ironically, they didn't really own being the Mean Girls.
No, no.
But I don't.
I think that
I don't
people
agree with you
here
that there was
got-
like some sort of grand scheme to put their shit was working.
Right. I just think that it's like being a teacher's pet. People are like, fuck that student who the teacher loves the most because it was just.
But also, though,
But we
you're
have
doing
also,
well.
you got-
When
If
I
the
use
teacher's
the
pet,
caller
though,
daddy
and-
analogy, it's not
Yeah,
the
yeah.
content,
Yeah.
it's the feedback. When they were in apples and oranges, how fast. But when they were going up, people were like, why are you promoting? Like, why are they becoming teacher's pet? Well, their content's going bananas.
Right.
Different levels, but like.
Same idea.
Right. And Paul does not play favorites. Like,
Right. Yeah.
for the most part. It's like he's just trying to get clicks and get things going. Those, for whatever reason, were resonating. And it is kind of,
I guess I
they have a
just- it's
talent in a
Right.
way of being like, it's not just what they were doing, how they were delivering these questions, whether dinosaurs existed, it all kind of worked.
Right.
It like worked in a way that worked for them.
I guess I wonder though, because all the clips were going off, they were going crazy, whatever. I guess I wonder more like, did that translate to the success of the show, and did it actually bring people in to see the actual stuff they were saying? Which I watched their show a bunch of times, and they did have good parts of their show. They had intelligent conversations, they had normal things they were saying, and I understand we use the clips to draw people in, but. When I'm getting, and this is what set me off, honestly, was that day, we're hearing about it all in the office, everybody's talking shit, everybody's posting about it. Then I'm hearing from people in my real life who like follow Barstool because they know me, and they're like, who are these morons like that you work with? And that to me is like, I don't want people to think that like
Right, that's
we're all
what-
morons.
right,
Like,
well-
that's what I know that there's a lot of morons. Listen, that's
Give
fine.
an example,
The
Dave.
people
Give
who
an
are
example.
morons are morons,
Right.
but I don't want everybody,
Right.
I don't want them
I
to think
mean-
Barstool are morons. Like I hate that, and you have to hate that too, I would think.
I know. I mean, I don't, because we've had morons here for quite a
I
long
guess.
time, and
Well,
it's
all,
like.
do you want everyone to be a moron?
No, but I think that's unfair just to be like two women are being labeled like it's just you're singling out one clip when we have so much stuff, and a lot of it is pretty moronic. So
For sure. But I don't think that
also
I was
think-
just
think
singling them
for
out.
a while
It
it
wasn't
was
just me.
translating to the show, right?
yeah, it was growing. Yeah, they had a very quick. What was a little different, or at least seemingly from the outside, is once Keegs killed them, it really went down. So it looked like the Barstool audience was largely their audience. Like they weren't getting outside us necessarily. So once again.
So there was a significant drop off after Keegs was.
Oh, Keegs murdered it. Yeah.
I mean,
she ruined it.
And again, that's not like what I'm.
like
Which
a rap
again
battle,
goes
and
to like
it's
when I'm
you're
yelling at.
the
It's
winner.
like, yeah, but it's like. If it could have kept going, that could have been like a great
I
thing.
thought that they had harnessed like the Midwest girls. You know what I mean?
It.
Like I thought that's what I thought. I was like, all right, so I am just not the audience. Maybe like the like metropolitan areas are not the audience just by them living here, whatever. But I thought that they had like the Oklahoma girls on lock or something. But
The bustling metropolis of Oklahoma.
you know what I mean? Like I don't know. Like it's just I thought that they had an audience that I don't know. They had those happy hours and stuff. I don't know. I thought that they had.
You'll never have to deal with them again.
No, I guess not. Yeah, I thought they had the shit to back it up, and so I didn't feel bad going at them because I thought they had the shit to back it up.
Yeah.
You can just be like, I don't know, and I don't care anymore.
Yeah, now it's whatever. Who gives?
They're gone. I mean, I have no ill will towards them, but
No.
How'd your
Why
call
would
with
you?
Alex go after radio?
not bad. Again, I like Alex.
And then in the craziest twist was after all this happens, Jordan was in my studio doing some work.
Yeah,
what is
she
going
came
on?
in. Yeah, well, it all.
But the one day you get let go is the day you're working.
This I'm uncomfortable with. I feel bad. I don't.
You killed.
I killed them for sure, but I also I wish that they talked to me. Like they refused to talk to me. I texted them. I tried to talk to them in person. I briefly talked to Alex.
Do you and Minahan? What is your relationship now?
They're best friends.
We
'Cause you-
float
I mean,
You
around.
basically are Kirk.
You
Listen,
two
I don't love that label.
alternate
I don't love that
universes
label.
of
Yeah.
Kirk. Like
Well, I think
you
that's
run
why
people
we.
out
I
of
think
here.
that's why we sort of hate each other at the same time, is because we're similar. I don't
And
wanna
you
be
seem
labeled
to
like-
kind of be like, oh, they're gone. That's what Kirk does when he runs someone out. He's like, all right, he's gone. Next.
Well, I just think they're crying.
It's just like the
I
next
don't
planet.
Yeah, who's the next target?
I don't think they're
Kelly?
crying about it, because if they wanted to stay, they would have stayed. Like, and you always talk about like Alex just wanted to be here for so long, whatever, blah blah. If she wanted to be here so long, she'd still be here.
Well, yeah, but you made her life miserable. She didn't want to come in.
She didn't talk to me. We didn't have a conversation. Literally the day of, I was like, let's have a conversation. I texted them. I said, this is blown out of proportion.
Yeah,
the way I
but it's
didn't
very
expect.
Kirk. Like Kirk's people don't necessarily have conversations. He just beats them into submission and they disappear.
It's also when
I do beat
Kirk
people
will
into
be like,
submission,
"You
that is-
fucking piece of shit! You shouldn't have a job. Kill yourself." And then he's like, "I texted them and they didn't want to come on my show." Yeah, that doesn't usually work that way.
No, I wasn't even trying to be on camera. I said, when they didn't want to do anything on camera, I said, okay, let's talk outside. And I said, we can talk whenever. I was like, I understand you guys are mad at me. Take as much time as you need, but I'm here to talk. And they didn't. They
I
wouldn't.
have a kill list and like on the out, like
He's just
hand.
just
Cross
crossing
it off with some lips.
Yeah, like gigs. Each how
I
many?
do like a lipstick kill list, that's
Yeah.
for sure. Well,
Oh
no
wow.
way, really? Oh no.
Okay. Well, that.
It makes my life much easier as like the
Yeah.
person who has to hire talent to have the other talent running the talent we hire out of here. It makes people like, why does Dave care about that? Well, it's
If they didn't skip on the pageant, would it have just been?
it was so a decision had to be coming, and I said this. I don't know that they had just Keegs killed them. They did not want to be in the office, so I don't know.
Everybody else
I
was
talked
really
about
nice.
them blowing me off, and if I didn't say anything, no one would ever have known.
Well, I was already doing the rounds today. I'm like, I asked. I'm like, are the Mean Girls in the office? Is Smitty in the office?
Got it.
And
Those are the
that's
rounds,
when
usually.
I was told what happened. So I called and asked. First, I asked Balls, I'm like, were they supposed to do something? Then I asked you, and once you said it, it's like, all right, fine, that's over. But again, I think that's indicative that they had made their mind up. And I think if I was like, you guys can do your own shit and not come in the office, they would be like, okay, good, we're not doing that anymore. And they're not successful enough where we saw the opposite. Like when they were in the office, they were doing much better, and then Keegs made it impossible for them to come in the office.
He's killed them.
You actually
I just don't.
killed a potentially
I know,
very
but
successful
situations here
franchise.
that-
There's just a timeline. It was
People
going,
are afraid
it was
of
going like this,
confrontation.
and then Kelly killed him, and it went like that. So.
I just don't
But
know.
here's something that-
But can you imagine
but-
not coming in and at least like standing up for yourself, yell at me, do
But
something,
some
get in a fight with
people-
me? Like what's?
This is what gets confusing around, and it's part of the other argument. Not everybody is the same. So some
Yeah,
people.
you guys are sociopaths, you and Kirk.
Some people don't like confrontation. Like Smitty, that shower scene, I don't really go at him in this because he can't take it.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
like, he doesn't have that DNA. So I just let
What
him.
happened? And now I
never saw
know,
it.
and I never did again.
Yeah.
Well, I
the other
only
day I
murdered him
said,
once.
you know.
I only killed the person one time. I didn't kill her a second time.
I didn't think it
And
was
you
going to be a kill
turned.
shot.
It wasn't just you. You like.
The whole office.
Yeah, you really made people hate.
Queen Bee shit.
I think that, I don't know. I think it was like a bubbling below the surface about attitudes. And I think that maybe
That's crazy.
Everyone
For
thought
no
it was
reason, really.
No, they had bad attitude all the time.
Why?
And I don't know. I don't know.
Like Alex definitely didn't.
It
She
turned.
fought in R&R like she was.
She didn't for a long time, and then all of a sudden they had a bad attitude. And that's what I said. I said, I knew Alex on BVA. We did BVA together. We stayed in the same hotels together. Like, we were friends. And then suddenly, no more. Like, it wasn't that we weren't friends anymore, but it was like, I don't know.
And this was before your bloggers.
This was way before. Yeah. Oh, like a year before we were friends. And we were friends for a long time. You know, I went to our birthday party. Like, it was all fine. And I think that, like, I don't know, sometimes I feel people get swept up in the glamour, swept up in the lights and all that, and they want to kind of look for other things. And I think that that's kind of what was going on.
Well,
and I don't think people
We'll
liked
never know.
it.
They're gone.
You're gone.
They're dead.
You did your
Sorry.
job.
I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry about it.
Assassinated.
As long as I'm not in trouble for it, then
Two bodies on her jacket now.
People don't get. They have. I think I was saying this a little bit. They have, I think, 500,000 followers on TikTok, 250 on Insta. For me to go hire two girls who have that, I would pay them a shit ton more than they were getting here. But Keegs murdered them, so we'll just have to go start over.
You can't pay dead people. That's
I
Just have to
guess.
go build up another something.
Yeah.
So they're dead. Well, whatever. Just let Dave deal with it. Thanks, Keeks.
sorry, Dave. I'm pretty sorry about that.
So yeah, the end of the Mean Girls era. It burned hot and bright, and was it twice as hot and half as long, or whatever the phrase is?
Yeah. I guess I just don't. If I'm the opposite. If people are mean and they're like, call me out or whatever, I feel like I go twice as hard.
I know, but
spite. I run on spite, I guess. I run more on spite.
Two different types of people,
Yeah, I guess.
The only thing,
It was probably the most real takedown I guess we've ever had.
yeah.
I guess so.
I did not realize it affected the numbers, actually.
I didn't know that either. I thought that it was.
Yeah.
I didn't.
And I know no matter what you're saying right now, there's a part of you that's like,
I mean,
like
I just. I was right. I was. I was right. I was right about things.
It was like, well, look at their YouTube views, and it's like, well, they're not big on YouTube. There are people different. I'm not big on YouTube.
I never
either.
thought that. I also
and it was
thought they
like,
did
what about
decent
their
YouTube
podcast?
numbers.
And it's like, guess what? Their numbers were bigger than some shows here that I think you would think are firmly safe and entrenched at Barstool and would never be let go, and they were bigger than that.
Yeah.
So, but they're dead.
Do you think that they?
There's a house fell onto
Do you think
them,
that
like
they grow?
yeah.
Wicked Witch,
Yeah,
like their feet are out, and they're just gonna roll up because they're dead and you killed them.
That's me.
will you reach out to them now at all?
I feel no. That's mean.
Will they reach out
Right?
to you?
I would love if I got a fuck you.
What if you just text them like,
love it.
whoops?
No, I would honestly love
That'd
a
be
fuck you.
complete, I would
send the
complete
Jordan
your,
meme?
Something.
complete your villain arc.
I would love anything from that. Like, I thought for sure we'd argue, a little spark, like whatever. I don't know. Jordan always talked about how she's got an anger management problem. I was excited. I was like, let's go. Let's argue.
I did expect more of that too.
I was excited. I just, that's the whole.
Yeah.
That's part of the reason I like being here. I like to argue.
It's Frankie doing it.
Well, what is Frankie doing over
yeah.
there? He's being so weird.
Her Dave was in and ran in.
But the thing for me is I just tried very hard, and then
You did. You tried really hard. You tried really hard.
and the last conversation I had with them, I said, if you're going to be here, you gotta like go all in. But also, if your choice is to leave here, like that's cool.
Yeah.
But you gotta do one or the other, and I think they were just kind of waiting for someone else to make a choice.
That's
Yeah.
kind of what I
The
think.
choice was
too.
made. The Mean Girls are gone.
Where's Frank? I don't know what's going on.
So
I feel like we're missing a great hangover.
I don't know.
I know, what the
was-
fuck?
What was longer, the Mean Girls' tenure or Aaron Rodgers with the Jets? But they're going to be working the same amount this year.
That sucks, huh? Are you bummed out about that?
I am. That was bad. I mean,
Sorry for you.
we really didn't even get into it too much on radio, but I left at halftime because I was just like, they came back and won the game, and I was kind of like, whatever.
Yeah, I saw you taking a walk.
And I walked home, and then I drove home, and I played music to like make myself sad.
Of course.
And I like spiraled a little bit,
Where'd you go
thinking
with?
about
What'd
the
you play?
Mets. The Simple Man by Leonard Skinner is a song that
nice.
Jacob deGrom played. And so I played that to like wallow in it, and I started to like actually spiral and get like genuinely upset on Instagram Live. I was like, I'm gonna cry on Instagram Live right now. I moved the phone. I was like, I was like,
I would love if you cried.
I'm saying, I was like, all
You just can't have that meme out there.
No.
Nobody, there's
Not day one. not day one.
any sort of footage of me crying. You can't have it on the internet.
No, God forbid.
But I was thinking to myself, I was like, all I want is just to like watch sports with my kids, my son, and enjoy it. And I don't think it's ever gonna happen. And I was like, and I just pointed the phone to the back of my car, and I was like, is this fucking? I never go on Instagram Live.
I was gonna say,
by the way, I never do
I saw
it.
you post being like, I don't usually.
I went 3 times.
Like, that
I went
makes
through.
me
I went
down
live
bad.
and I turned it off and I was like, I'm back, another thing. And I went and I was like, I'm gonna do this all night long.
Sometimes it's like that.
I was fucking crying about a game that they eventually win like an hour and a half later. That's how much of a roller coaster it was. But in the long run, they'll be like their defense and their team is good enough to win some games like it was last year. But they won.
They could make the playoffs still, maybe, but they're not winning this year.
They won 7 games last year with Zach Wilson, Mike White, and Joe Flacco. That is a Herculean effort to win 7 games. But it took like I think they were 6-1 to start, and then it just all fell off because their defense is just on the field every fucking minute, and there's just no respite. So as good as those guys are, they can only carry you so far. They did get better, I think. They did get some more weapons. They got people come back from injury, so they are a better team. So maybe you're a couple games above 500. It could happen, but it's also they're in the middle.
They're not going into Kansas City and beating Patrick Mahomes, Trevor Lawrence, Joe Burrow.
Listen, they just beat fucking Josh Allen and the Bills. We probably wouldn't have said that a week ago.
Yeah, but I saw everybody.
If you knew a week ago that Aaron Rodgers wasn't around, you would.
I saw everybody and their mother tweeting last night. Josh Allen kind of overrated. I thought he was the golden boy. Yep. Everybody loved him.
I mean, the Jets are in the Bills' head. They've lost. The Bills have lost to the Jets a lot, and most people don't lose to the Jets a lot.
Yeah.
So.
I feel bad, and that's what I was saying. Is like I'm a Giant fan, but I don't hate the Jets. I hate the Mets with a burning passion. But I legitimately felt bad for Aaron Rodgers. But Jet fans make it hard to not hate the Jet fans sometimes because
what are the Jet fans doing right now that they are not fully allowed to be doing right now?
Well, no, they were just like, I said something. I was like, I actually feel bad for the Jets. I was like, at this point,
fuck that.
No, I was like, at this point, you have to like maybe just give up hope on the franchise.
Yes.
We're like, if you get the best team you've ever had, one of the best quarterbacks of all time, and he gets hurt 2 minutes into the game, maybe it's like you just cancel the franchise. People are like, you piece of shit, the Giants lost 40-0 last night. One has nothing to do with the other, and also, I guarantee you, would you rather have lost 40-0 last night and had Aaron Rodgers be healthy? Like,
yes, and
1,000%.
What you're saying is true. There is no hope.
Oh.
There is no.
Did anyone else just hear a ringing in there? No?
No, probably just you.
Okay. sort of weird ringing in my
such a freak.
I get that sometimes.
Low-key's the biggest
but
freak
it's never a
at Barstool.
surprise. Like it always.
I just thought it sounded like it was like, oh, we're all hearing that.
Nope.
Move on.
Tommy's an alien. For real, an alien.
He's a freak.
What you said is true. There is no hope. There is no.
Like, I don't know
Optimism
what could ever happen that gets you this excited for a season.
And even by Mets, Jets, Knicks standards, 4 snaps, 0 for 1, 0 yards is probably his final line as a Jet, is insane. It's not even like people say same old Jets, same old Mets, goddamn Jets, all those things, LOL Mets. Like, even by all of those standards, this is like, holy fucking shit.
It wasn't even on the table. Like, the LOL Jets would have been like, oh, Rodgers comes, he's washed. Maybe Rodgers throws an interception, a pick 6 on his first throw.
Yeah.
Seemed like
they lose 40-0.
Right.
Just regular
Jet
stuff.
shit.
Yeah.
Him tearing his Achilles.
After the fucking flag.
Well, do you think that Clemmer cursed you? It's a Clemmer curse?
Clemmer,
I saw that clip. And
Clemmer
I thought
flat
that
out
was
said,
insane.
I woke up thinking about Vinny Testaverde tearing his Achilles. I said, don't put that out there.
The last time I was this excited to start a season was the year after they made the AFC Championship game against the Broncos. Testaverde in the first quarterback game goes back, blows his Achilles out. Season's over. It's the first thing I thought about when I woke up this morning. That fucking game. That is.
I'd actually like to get him on here to hear about that. And he's another Mean Girl grave dancer.
Mean Girl guy.
He's got his throwing.
He still is saying he has hope. He still has hope for the Jets.
I think I gotta get that for my grandpa.
He still has hope for the Jets. He was saying this.
I know.
Oh.
I'll be honest. I woke up this morning and I thought like maybe they're not totally done, but as the day has gone on, I'm like we're fucked.
No, we're not.
Okay, we're having you on for 2 reasons.
Okay.
I don't know if you're aware, Kelly killed the Mean Girls.
I heard, yeah.
You are her compadre, her partner in crime. You are the tag team, the dynamic duo of death. Are you celebrating the same way Kelly is?
Dynamic duo.
I'm not celebrating.
Don't put words in my mouth.
Because there was once a time where
internally you're celebrating.
There was once a time where someone was throwing shots about people celebrating and being insensitive about people losing their jobs. And, look at the spot we're in.
They didn't lose. This is the opposite situation. I think they didn't lose their jobs.
The people that lost their jobs also, let's just reiterate, it was really by no fault of their own. It's because the company changed direction. I'm not saying they lost their job because of no fault of their own, but then again, I don't know, did they ever respond to that text you sent them? Okay, so there we go. So a little different situation.
Yeah, no, it is.
Well, they lost their job to fault of their own.
Yeah,
There's no debate.
That's what I'm saying. It's a different situation than the 100 people that lost theirs.
You know what's so crazy is I really think they had trump cards to play and they just didn't do it right.
I don't know why.
They showed up every day, and I think they could have. I think they could have bodied you if they did it right, and I think they could have.
I literally expected it. I had a show canceled like a week later, and they didn't say shit.
Yeah, I would have been
like,
dancing.
Are you kidding me? Like all day long, it would have happened.
Oh my God!
Yes, like
a gift from the God.
No, literally, nothing. I heard
and
nothing.
That's just,
I came to work that day sick to my stomach, like, oh fuck, here's my karma, here it comes, and it never did.
You had like a regular job before this.
Yeah.
And you know, like sometimes like not every job is for every person, like personality-wise, and like. I don't know if it ever would have worked here for them. I don't think they were willing to kind of meet us halfway and kind of maybe.
I feel it was the other way around about meeting halfway.
I don't know. I guess I don't know.
I don't think they were meeting you, but I don't think this office was. There was no chance. These guys were all telling me if they showed up, we would be fine, and they were like, we showed up, and you guys all shit on us.
No, that's a lie.
It's not though. They did the reality shows.
No, that was before. No. Sorry, when they started, they never tried to show back up and get involved. And even when they did, people were talking to them all the time. Like,
they were in the office, and then you wrote the blog. So their point was like, when we were here, I got shit on.
All that shit that they did before that, or the reality shows and stuff, they did all that before the blog. That was all done well before that.
That's my point.
So I don't understand.
They were doing a lot of Barstool work and still got a blog written about them, and everyone danced on their grave.
Their excuse was, okay, so what? The week that everybody danced on their graves, after that, they never came in to defend themselves. They had the bad attitude. They wouldn't talk to anybody. Yeah. They isolated themselves.
That is true.
People did not isolate.
But their point was. Everybody's saying like, oh, if I came to the office.
No, they gave up in 1 minute. They gave up. They went, everyone hates us. Whoops, can't come in anymore.
Okay.
Kelly was the whole office. Kelly wrote a blog.
I'm not the whole. Why
Kelly took a big shit on Jack Mack yesterday.
We can either we can be honest about it, or like everybody loved it. Everybody was like, yeah, Kelly, let's go.
Everybody loved it for sure, but also everybody would have embraced them coming back at me, and everybody also would have embraced it. They were like, listen,
I would have. I was all ready for the multiple. When Kelly was writing her blog, I was like, oh my God, the Mean Girls blog is gonna be amazing.
They might have liked the drama, but people here do not like those girls. They don't.
But that wasn't my fault. People didn't like them, though. It was not my fault.
Sure.
I think it's so much.
I mean, listen. I don't think it helped.
When they were around,
it didn't help.
I don't think it did them any favors. I think they do a lot of content that is like, men should buy me drinks and blah blah blah, and a lot of people find them to be like kind of like country club ritzy bitchy girls.
I don't care about that.
But I think maybe you don't, but I think a lot of people do.
I don't know.
People did think that.
I think a lot of people think that
they didn't come when
they're like they think they're better than me. Is what I think the vibe that they put off.
When they were yes, that is true, but that doesn't mean that they came in and everybody was like, boo, fuck these girls, don't look at me. No, they were not. No, they weren't.
You're just not being honest. Tommy. Tommy.
I don't think people were not to their faces when they were in being like,
but everybody
they definitely saw a lot of quote tweets of people being like, this is the stupidest clip I've ever seen.
Yes.
But okay, so we're not coming to work because people say your clips are stupid?
Those are two different things. That's two. Listen, I'm not defending not coming to work, but people characterizing this as this is just office busting balls.
I'm telling you right now.
Because nobody else has had a deluge of tweets from everybody they work with being like, fuck these girls.
I don't disagree with that, but then at the same time, that's just how things go. People get
but that's not true, Kelly. It's just not.
Act like assholes.
No, they don't. No, they don't. Not like this.
And then they
name one other show at Barstool.
And they fight back.
Name one other show at Barstool that got that much hate internally. And there's only one show.
I'm honestly trying to think.
And it's the comparison you hate.
I don't know.
No, I think it's just.
Well, yes, and that does not help your case either. But I think the reason why people bring up Call Her Daddy, and a lot of people are like, stop bringing them up. They're not even in the same stratosphere. They're not in terms of performance.
Yeah.
They are in terms of people at Barstool were like, fuck these girls.
Right, and they said, fuck you right back.
Right.
So why didn't they do the same thing?
That's just a different story, is what I'm saying. Those are two different people.
No,
Alex Cooper is a fucking
that's what I'm saying.
generational juggernaut, and those girls aren't.
They chose, instead to say, fuck you, everybody, they chose, woe is us, we're never coming in again, everyone hates us, we're not going to try to build relationships, we're not going to try to figure out why everybody hates us, we're not going to maybe be nicer to people, actively be like, hey, I'd like to do this content, hey, do you want to be on the podcast, hey, do you want to do this? There are so many ways that you can get yourself involved here, and they didn't try any of it.
They did that in the beginning.
No, they didn't.
They did all the shows. Well, I mean, listen, they made it effort.
And they said, okay, we'll do everything. And they did, and it was great. But then when people weren't actively seeking them out after that shit happened.
But that's not enough to be like, fuck these people, get out of my company.
I didn't get that vibe, honestly, until they stopped showing up.
I don't think
that's not how I felt.
There's not a single person in here that went up to their face and talked shit to them. I know that for a fact. No one would do that here.
That's not what I'm saying. They was all behind their backs, yes. But you think they don't know?
Behind their back
on people talk and like. You don't think that they know that the whole company was like, yeah,
I don't know.
And that was like, fuck yeah.
I'm so different. I cannot wrap my head around knowing that people are talking shit about you and not being right here.
But that is just.
I think they might have just.
You know what I mean? Like you show up.
Taking it too serious.
But they don't. I mean, they're not working here anymore because they're probably like, fuck this.
Well, then,
and you might not understand that.
No, right, and I don't. But then, why were you here? Like, why was I work here so bad? It's like, what do you mean? No, you didn't. If you didn't want to do this, like,
I hate to stick up for them because of what Dave just said. Like that replacing girls of that magnitude, it's not call her daddy, but it's not easy. So if we're just gonna be like, oh, I don't like these people, so we're gonna fucking torpedo them, this company's not gonna be successful.
I go back to Jack Mack and Kelly, though. Kelly took a big shit on Jack Mack on Twitter last night. He's in the office today.
I know. I felt that. That was listen.
The last day that Mean Girls' employees here is the first day Kelly Keegs ever defends them. He literally defended them last night.
I was defending them last night. I said, okay, fine. I listened to what Dave was saying.
Listen, after I murdered someone, I would take the high road too.
No,
I'll go to your feet under and go kiss on the grave. Yeah. Fucking wiping the blood off me.
No, I was never taking I'm also not taking the high road right now. I'm still talking shit. But yesterday, or I listened to what Dave was saying the other day to you about making people look bad, whatever. And I'm like, all right, fine. If people want me to defend these bitches, then I will. Jack Mack misquoted them and was trying to get people like mad at their clip. So I stuck up for them and made a offhand joke at him, a joke he does not like. And I did not know that, so I'm sorry for that. Like, I didn't know he wasn't down for some, you get no pussy jokes. Like, I didn't think that was going to be a big thing, but it was. So that's it with that. But I did stick up for the girls because they had a clip. It was the most normal clip I've ever seen them put out. It was insightful. What they were saying made sense, and he tried to paint it as if they didn't.
You're a Mean Girl super fan.
No, I'm not. I mean, but again, if they had,
it was insightful.
Insightful. Maybe I'm being a little dramatic, but if they had put out clips like that, then that's fine. I always encourage things that I think are good.
But also, they did, and the internet decides what goes viral.
No, I know.
So what can you be mad about?
But no. This clip wasn't like going viral. It was just
here though. Like, I said the reason I brought up the Jackman thing is because he came in today. He didn't run and hide. Yeah. I went viral yesterday for saying Vinny Testaverde was going to post Achilles.
And that'd be insane if Jack didn't show up today. Like, there was no way that was never going to happen.
Of course,
but also, like, to be fair, Kelly's one tweet at Jack Mack way different than a whole bunch.
We can do this argument literally
100%,
for hours and hours and hours. If you're not willing to admit that there is a different vibe, a different level.
I'm not admitting that.
It's apples and oranges. It's night and day.
Right,
Jack Mack is not. It's not a comparison. Everybody here likes Jack. He doesn't have an issue with anybody.
It's not the same thing at all.
For some reason, whether it's their PR, their work ethic, their look, their money, I don't know. Sometimes it's just the fucking internet decides, and people it's an avalanche, and they don't like you. And once that happens, it's over.
It to me was. I don't disagree. I think people used my blog as an excuse to pile on. Yes. And that is when I reached out to them and said it got out of hand more than I thought. Then like TikTok liked the drama, and that is I think what upset them, because everything that happens in this office, in the real world, unless you're really plugged in, you don't know what the fuck is going on. When it started going crazy on TikTok is when they freaked the fuck out and they didn't understand what's going on. Nobody even read my blog. Like, that was just based on a video that Chuck made me do for Maine. And so like that made things worse. But to act like 6 months later, people were still like making you feel like you don't belong here is out fucking outrageous.
I mean, that's not.
Yes, it is.
They know that they weren't.
Yes, it is.
Bro, everybody knows this is the most gossipy place in the world. You think that the Mean Girls didn't know that the people here hated them?
They were hanging out with. They hung out with half the office outside of the office all the time. They're friends with everyone outside the office, but they just wouldn't come in here.
So,
That's it. I'm dead set. I'm not.
Okay, so
I'm
now
not
now
lying
the
when I
office
say
is
this.
friends with me. That's what we're saying.
Yes,
They definitely have some friends.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah, I don't know. If
I'm not lying.
I mean,
I'm not
maybe
making
I'm
this
not
up. Why would I make this up?
Because I think you're trying to help your argument.
No, I'm not trying to help my argument. I have told you that everybody that my blog went out.
There's
People use that
probably
to
a
shit
couple
on them.
people here, and then the vast majority are like, fuck the Mean Girls. And if you're not willing to admit that, we shouldn't even have the argument.
I think maybe people on the production side think fuck the Mean Girls. They're the meanest.
I think
sure.
the production,
content-wise,
content?
nobody was mean to their face. I swear to fucking God.
Kelly,
Evan,
that's not.
I am
that's
not
a thing to be like.
lying
I
to you.
only talk about you
Ask
behind your
any
back. We're
single-
friends.
No, ask any
You
single
weren't.
person in here.
You
No one
weren't
made
mean
it
to their
difficult for
face,
them to
but
be
they
here.
knew everybody
made it
behind their
difficult.
back hated them.
For 6 months, they couldn't come in?
I'm not.
Six
You keep saying that.
months
That's
they
a
had
different
problems.
thing. They should have come in.
Chicken
It's
and
not.
egg
It's the
thing,
exact
though.
same thing.
No, it's
Come
not
in.
though, because they got shit on when they came to
I can't hear that
work.
excuse. I can't hear that excuse of them.
didn't see
We
that.
don't feel comfortable being here. 6 months later, when no one has ever been mean to them to their face, no one, even after I wrote that blog, you went up to them and said, I think it was a little harsh by Kelly.
I'm just laughing at
Yes,
you
I
watch
did.
Clemmer
Yeah.
talk. I was expecting.
People went up to them and said, Kelly was too mean. The girls, all the girls, texted them. Bria, Fran, Bree, Grace,
Good.
all of them said, hey, I understand, whatever. And they all told me, they said, hey, listen, I talked to the girls and said, I totally understand, that's fine. That's fine. I'm not trying to alienate them from this office. Everyone talked to them.
Well, they're dead now. They're dead bodies. So
They are
you
dead
can't be
bodies.
friends with dead people. So.
And that's fine, but I refuse to say that I am the reason that they couldn't come to work for 6 months. That's fucking bullshit. You know that's bullshit.
I don't buy that.
That is correct.
You're only
But
the
but
reason
you
their
are the
show
reason
took a
that they're-
drastic downturn in numbers.
Yes, there was.
You might not be the reason they come to the office, but you are the reason their show
calendar
stopped
had a
growing.
huge
I would've
downturn
been-
that
I would've
coincided with Kelly's blog.
You don't work here, they're still here.
Yeah, facts.
Dave
That's 100% a
if
fact.
people couldn't hear that, Dave said if Kelly doesn't work here, Mean Girls still.
If that blog is never written, nothing ever happens.
Well, they're dead now, so what are we gonna do?
All right, Dave.
R.I.P.
We're not really going to talk about Shakira, right?
Yeah, no, we don't need to talk about that. John's not here
You
anyway.
bring me on to talk about Shakira? No.
She ripped off merch.